We're live.
All right, CD&SAM podcast episode, whatever the hell. It's been a while, but we are back here. We're back here with our favorite redhead, Brock McMahon, back on the podcast.
What up, Ginge?
So we're
What's good,
here
guys?
because this is the group that predicted collectively, not individually, that the Saints were going to go 13-4 this season. Personally, I had them 11-6. I think a few of us did, but
I had him 11-6.
yeah.
13
So
and
with
4 right
this.
here.
With this team sitting at 3-4, we're here. We've gathered back to present our thoughts on the general shit show that has been the New Orleans Saints in the last 5 weeks in particular. And with that, I lead it. I'll give it to my co-host Connor
Yeah, thank you, Sam. I'll excuse your French because the Saints
because it's
have,
accurate.
yeah, they've ruined our past couple of weeks. Yeah, it hasn't been fun. Um, I mean, Derek Carr seemingly has not been the answer. I mean, neither has Carmichael. But we brought the Ginger on for one reason, and that is for the Ginger to go on a rant. So on that note, I'll hand it off to you, Ginger.
Okay, there he is.
Well, I'll start off with an opening statement, and I'm gonna say this. Okay, so here's what I heard on a show earlier this week. I heard
Talk
a
to me.
guy say that from 2006 to 2019, we all expected the Saints to win every single game. It wasn't gonna happen, but we expected them to win every game. Would we agree?
I don't know about
Yeah,
like that. Go ahead, Sam.
I'd say for the most part. I mean,
You
like even when the 7 and 9 years, I still thought there was a chance every game, just because like when you had Drew Brees, you could blow out any team in the league at
Yeah,
any
exactly.
given week.
yeah, because
With
you knew
that
you
being
were going to put
said,
up points.
Yeah,
exactly.
I continue, Brock.
With that being said, in these past 3 years, I've found myself for the first time ever going into every single week and saying, "What are we gonna do this time? How are we gonna lose this time?" And I wasn't alive for the Aints back in the day, but my dad has told me that it is very, very, very similar to back then. And we need Drew Brees back. I would take him right now at 47 years old, probably over Derek Carr. 'Cause this is I can't watch this anymore.
Yeah, the thing is that makes it worse is like the weapons we have, like from Michael Thomas to Kamara back to Shaheed and obviously Olave, but it's just really disappointing because you see teams like the Eagles, who I mean, I who would y'all say has a better like core weapons, us or the Eagles? Discounting the
Mm,
quarterback, no quarterback.
I
Eagles.
mean, it's. I think it's us if you exclude quarterback. They
I
probably
think
have the
it's us
best
too.
receiver, but we have better running backs and more depth at receiver. So yeah,
See,
Yeah.
the bias fan, the homer in me wants to say us, but when you do compare them, would you rather AJ Brown or Olave?
No, you I know, but
no,
thing
that's
is,
fair.
we
They
haven't
AJ
seen
Brown's better.
Olave. We've seen everything
That's
AJ
true.
Brown has.
But all right, on that note, would you rather a 30-year-old Michael Thomas or a 23-year-old Devontae Smith?
That's true.
That's true. Yeah.
I'll give you
And
that, but
then
I think we
I
have
think
some
I'd
good
rather
depth.
Rashid Shaheed over Quez Watkins or Julio Jones.
Chris Watkins.
But
Well,
And
yeah,
Kamara over Swift.
okay. Let's not get sidetracked here with an Eagles versus Saints position.
guess where DeAndre Swift came from, Connor?
Okay, bro. He's a big
Line up.
Lions fan.
Line up.
Okay, wait, regardless of that, I mean the O line and the quarterback play hasn't been there this year. But to touch on what Brock said, it does feel weird to like you're just going into a game against the Texans and you're like, yeah, we're probably gonna lose today. Um, and you know that it's just not gonna be like remotely entertaining. Like they're just a very bad entertainment product right now. And sports is an entertainment business, so you have to be disappointed as a fan. Sometimes when obviously when they lose, but also when they win. I don't think like who's having fun when we beat the Titans 16-15 or when we scraped by Carolina. Like it's just really not an entertaining brand of football. And so as a fan, regardless of what the results are, it's really frustrating to watch.
And quite frankly, it's more stressful than it is, having fun. And sports, like you said, are supposed to, bring, fun and enjoyment. And the Saints this year have brought nothing but sadness and stress and ruined weeks. I'm looking at my predictions I have here. Um, I got the Saints beating the Buccaneers 31-17. And I know y'all remember that game. That game was atrocious.
Oh my God. I had the Saints. I'm pretty sure my exact words were the Saints are going to skull drag the team because I don't see Baker Mayfield beating us. And
Yeah.
we literally lost to Baker Mayfield. He
Yeah.
beat our whole team.
I mean,
I
Yeah,
mean, let's call it what it is. We're the Iowa of the NFL. We're the Iowa Hawkeyes of
that's
the
a great
NFL.
comp. That's why Brock is here. But as far as that game goes, I do have to give some credit to Tampa Bay. I mean, I predicted them to go 1-16. That was probably a terrible prediction looking back at it now. But
we had the Saints going 14-3, damn it. So
13
13
and
and
4.
4, 13 and 4.
sorry.
But besides the point, that game was just really dead the whole time. And once again, it just goes back to like the style of football that we're trying to play. I felt like in that game, I think we can agree that we're a more talented team than Tampa Bay, right?
Definitely. 100%.
Um, I feel like we're a more talented team than a lot of the other teams on our schedule, but I feel like the way we're trying to play is we are trying to win ugly every week, and we're letting teams stick around the whole game, and they get the better of us because our coaching just isn't competent enough to win in close games.
Do you think we're trying to make it ugly? I'm
I
serious.
do.
Like, you do?
I do. I don't think we're trying to like come up with big plays on offense. Like, how many pass attempts have we had over the middle for more than 20 yards in the last like 4 weeks?
That's the
Because I
biggest thing
swear
on
I could count them
offense.
on one hand.
You could.
Like,
Even
it's just
even
really bad.
the ball to Rashid horribly underthrown against the Texans.
Oh, when he mossed him.
Yes, like I look
Terrible
back,
throw.
if he leads them, it's a touchdown. It's a
Yeah,
90-yard touchdown. But instead,
Yeah.
Derek Carr, nothing like we thought. And now we sit here at 3-4, and I have no hope for the year.
I have a question for y'all. Is the jury still out on Derek Carr, or have y'all made your minds up?
He he's just like Andy Dalton.
Well,
I mean,
big.
he played no,
Well,
not like that. I mean, like played for a team for so long, and now I
I
think
see what
after
you're. I
he's
see
gonna
what you're
bounce
doing.
around teams.
He's on the Andy Dalton kind of trajectory.
Exactly.
Yeah. Looking back at it, our offense last year got more things over the middle than like what we're doing now.
for sure.
I mean, like I was at the game against the Jaguars. On Thursday
Oh,
night,
oh.
and the first two drives, I could have gone out there and done what Derek Carr was doing, just dinking and dunking it down to Kamara.
Yeah. I think for
And then
me at
homeboy
least,
Groupie completely misses the 50-yarder. But
we're not going to talk about Blake Griffey on this podcast, just to reserve for the
wait, you don't
family
like him?
friendly aspect of this.
You don't like him?
I'm going to stay away from my Blake Griffey takes. But
After the pod, I want to hear your Blake Groupie takes. But
okay.
continue.
But what was I saying? Oh, for me, I haven't made my mind up on Carr. Like, he hasn't been. Obviously, he hasn't impressed anyone, but he also hasn't been like overwhelmingly bad. Uh, I think that we can't really give him a fair assessment with Pete Carmichael as the offensive coordinator through 7 weeks. Um, so for me, he's played like probably a subpar quarterback, but I do expect him to pick up that play moving forward. It's
Yeah.
just been really disappointing on the offensive front. And I want to hear y'all first because I have just so many thoughts. But Pete Carmichael is still the offensive coordinator of the New Orleans Saints. Do y'all have anything that you'd like to say about that before I go?
Ginger.
Well, I think I told Connor this last night, maybe. Um, Pete Carmichael, Loomis, Dennis Allen, and Gail Benson are so in love with the past, and they're trying to get back to Drew Brees instead of looking forward to the future. And what I said was the Saints, which they're not going to do, but they should draft a quarterback in round one, sit him for a year
This is
behind
exactly
Carr,
what they should do.
and then the year two start the rookie, whoever it is, and then put Carr as the backup. Same thing that the Chiefs did with Mahomes, and look what that did. No, I don't think that's going to happen with the Saints because, I mean, they're pretty. I'd say they're probably a bottom 10 organization right now. Would y'all agree? Just the decisions they made with the
Oh,
contracts.
on an organizational level, I think I
Your
still have to see
line.
how the season pans out.
Right now, I'd say fringe bottom 10.
See, the problem is I see us winning 6 or 7 games, which puts us 13th, 14th in the draft. So it's a lose lose.
Yeah.
Like this team's gonna find a way. We'll be like last year. We'll lose 7 games in a row and then win like 4 out of the last 5
Here's the
to
worst
be
case scenario. We make the playoffs. Our
and lose,
front office
unfortunately.
thinks Carmichael did a decent enough job, keep him around. Then we just, prevent the rebuild for another
Oh my
year or
god.
push it
Oh
back
my.
one more year. That's worst
I
case scenario.
I don't think as a fan I've ever wanted a rebuild more than I do now.
Yeah.
It's a good point because I said coming into or after last season ended, I wanted to, start the rebuild and blow things up. And then they make the move for Derek Carr and they're trying to be competitive and win the division. So yes, on paper, obviously the rebuild is better for the franchise at the moment. But also, as I'm like going into the Superdome a few weeks ago playing Tampa, I can't complain about, going to watch a team that is supposedly competitive at least, and that's competing for a division, which I still think they are. Um,
100% they are.
so I can't
They're just not
complain.
good at it.
I can't complain too much, but they have to execute in that division, and we have to be playing playoff football in the Superdome this year for me to say that this was in any way worth it. Because realistically, this probably had set the franchise back in terms of contending for Super Bowls 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think we're winning the Super Bowl with this group, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you how bad Derek Carr is if he wins the division.
Yeah, I hear you. The Saints are like right now, they're like the Wizards of the NBA.
No, the Wizards are worse. I would say we're like a Utah Jazz
I should
team.
say we're on the trajectory of the Wizards if we stay like this.
If we stay like this, yeah, we're like a 4 or 5 seed Wizards, maybe like
Yeah.
mid 2010s. But so the rebuild's an interesting point. But do you have anything else before? Because I got Pete Carmichael takes.
Oh,
You,
ooh.
Sam, I love it when you rant. So the floor is
okay,
yours.
do I have the floor? Okay.
Yes, you have the floor.
Well, sorry. Okay.
All right,
The
no, Ginger,
fact
real
that
quick, real
okay, wait,
quick.
yeah,
It's
Brock.
it's super quick. What I just want to say, and I don't want to talk
Super
about. I don't
quick.
want to. Okay. I don't want to like talk about go on a tangent about college, but we are literally the exact opposite of LSU. We have a top, I'd say maybe 5 top 10 defense and a bottom 5 offense. LSU is the exact opposite. They have a top 3 offense and a bottom 10 defense.
Yeah, it is
Like
funny to watch the juxtaposed on Saturdays to Sundays.
Yeah,
It's interesting. Very different kinds of football. But okay,
you have the
Pete
floor.
Carmichael. Thank you. The fact that Pete Carmichael is still the offensive coordinator of the Saints just says everything about our ambition. It says that we don't want to compete for anything farther than the division. If we're content with just saying, hey, we want to move the ball, but we don't really want to score, that's basically what we're doing as an organization right now. We're just trying to get the ball into the other team's territory because, hey, maybe it'll sell some tickets, but we don't actually want to score and compete and win championships. So keeping Pete Carmichael right now just says everything you need to know about what our ambition is for this season. Like, we are not trying to do anything. Like, he has no idea what he's doing on offense, and neither does anyone else, like, on the field. We have probably 3 to 4 plays, like, I want to say a game, but sometimes it's in a half, where we just throw the ball and there's no one remotely in the area.
Yep.
That's not solely on a player level. Like, yes, Derek Carr is new to the offense and he's new to the players around him, but there's miscommunication from the top down. There's no way there's not. He's the red zone incompetence, and not just in the red zone, but when we get the ball into the other team's territory, is baffling. Like,
It's terrible.
It's incredible. We took 7 drives in the Jaguars' territory to score a touchdown. We had a stage where we had 5 drives in the opposing territory, and we scored 3 points from that. That is absurd. Like, do y'all remember when we had Drew Brees and it was like, hey, we're
It was
down
automatic.
15 with we're down 15 with the ball. I'm feeling pretty good. If we're down freaking like 3 points, I'm like, holy shit, we're gonna score like 3 the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Like, we get the ball on the other team's 40, and I don't even think that we're gonna score. Like, it never crosses my mind that we're gonna put points on the scoreboard. We get a turnover at the 15, and I'm like, oh man, we got 3 points.
Yeah,
Let's
exactly.
go. I see 3 points in our future. We can't do anything when we're
If
in
your
the
boy Groupie
opposing
knocks it
team's
through.
territory. If we get in the opposing team's territory before the 15, it's either no points or it's no points because we miss a field goal or because we're just going to punt because we have no faith in our kicker to make anything past 50 yards because he can't. Or if we get the ball down to the 15, it's like, bam, that's 3 points for us, baby. Put them up there. We have absolutely no ability to get the ball into the end zone when we get down there. There's no even play calling. We get the ball on 4th and 6, and we get the ball 6 yards to the end zone. We just throw the ball sometimes. Like, it's incredible. We just chuck the ball to the end zone. There's no desire to play offense. It's like in the NBA when you dribble the ball up the court and you have like 20 seconds and you just say, oh, I'm just going to chuck this shit up
Yeah.
because we just have no concept of how to get into an offensive play. And we do that the last 2 closing drives of the last games. We just say, all right, let's throw it to the end zone and see if Olave or Mike makes an incredible catch, even though we don't have a fade ball guy.
Which Mike
And
did on that one play.
he did. No, I don't want any credit to be given to Pete Carmichael on whatever that drive was. That was just another one of those where it's like, hey, let's chuck this shit up, see what happens. Because that's what we do. We get down inside of the 20 and we just start throwing it to the end zone. We make 6 yards look like 20 on that last last game.
Yeah.
Because first down, we just throw it to the end zone. 4th down, we just throw it to the end zone. There's no even like concept of progressions on that play. It's just like, oh, let's see, is it there? No. Oh, I'm gonna just throw it anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not offense. It's not football. It's
not coherent at all.
There's no desire to like play offense. Like there's no play design. I don't understand how we can look at this as an organization and say this is okay and this is what we're going to keep doing because it's so unacceptable for both the fans and just the team. You can't win games against you can't win games against bad teams like that, but imagine if we played a good schedule. Would we be 1-6 or 2-5? Because I'm looking at the teams that we beat, and it's Carolina, New England, and the Titans, and they suck.
They all suck.
What do we like?
We'd be 1-5 right now if we played a good schedule.
So how Pete Carmichael is still the offensive coordinator? It's shocking to me.
I have kind of 2 things to add. One, where is Taysom Hill?
Yeah.
Like, also, and on that, we scored early in the game from the 1-yard line with Taysom Hill. And correct me if I'm wrong, was the last play of the game, was that inside the 5 or was that at the 6?
Is it the 6?
Okay. I'm saying, like, put Colin Saunders back there, let him lead block, let Taysom run it in. Who's stopping Taysom downhill? Nobody's been able to do it since he's been in the league, and we decided to throw up to a fade ball to a receiver who's been pouting and hasn't been running his routes, and he didn't even try to make a play on it. When you have guys like Michael Thomas putting everything on the field, you saw that catch. That was incredible. I don't know how he made that. Foster Moreau, now he did drop it, but I mean, you saw right before that he was getting the offense like hyped up, getting them ready.
Yeah.
Why not? I know he drops it. Go right back to it. See, let him make the play.
No, because I swear it's like we tried to play offense on 3rd down and then it didn't work, and we were like, all right, y'all. Remember that thing we did against the Texans? Let's go with that, y'all. Just chuck it up.
It's unreal.
I remember
the last drive of the Texans. I know this is a couple weeks ago. 4 straight plays. We ran the same exact play 4 times. We just threw it up with double coverage.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
So I think it was the Texans game where we had the ball like way down in their territory.
It's every game, Connor.
It took so it was 1st down and we had the ball at their like 3, and It took us 3 plays to get to so we were at 4th down, and we finally just decided to give it to Taysom and let him just walk into the end zone. It took him 3 plays to do that. Why is he not your go-to guy at the 1-yard line?
Yeah, I'll say it's been a pattern over the last 3 years where, like, how many times are we watching it and just saying, like, if they give the ball to Taysom, there's nowhere they're stopping him. And then in the rare cases when they do, he always gets it. And we're like, thank you. We've been telling you idiots to do this for the last 2 years. And they'll go to the 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1, and they'll hand the ball to Kamara up the middle. It just makes
Or Adam
sense.
Prentice.
Yeah.
Or whoever the hell our fullback is.
Yeah, but, like, why we don't realize that we have the second best short yardage ball carrier in the league is just really, like,
you put him
hard
behind
to wrap your mind around as a fan. You're watching it and you're saying there's no way they stop him if we give him the ball here, and yet we don't. And it's just every single season with this.
Are you putting Taysom behind Derrick Henry?
Yes.
And I'll add this. Even Taysom's impossible to stop downhill. I think we all agree with that. But even when they're not down in the yard line or inside the 10, when you have back in the day when Taysom would fake and then throw a ball 50 yards to a streaking Ted Ginn, Olave, people like that. I don't think we've run that play at all this year. I don't think Taysom's thrown
Taysom Hill has not thrown the ball, I think, beyond 10 yards this season.
Where has that been? He's unreal when he throws it downfield. It's just, I don't understand.
His arm punts that work out. Yeah.
Yeah. Do y'all want to get into that last series or just leave it alone? Like that last series where we get to the 6-yard line and stall out?
Yeah, let's get into it. We can just reserve like 5 minutes to the NBA. Go ahead.
Okay. First, I mean, I've said the thing where first down was just a wasted play, and honestly, so was 4th down was just a wasted play.
Yeah.
But my question is why didn't we try to run the ball at some point? Because we get down there, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we had 40 seconds and 2 timeouts. What I really would have loved to have seen on first down was just hey, let's just run it up the middle and pick up 3 yards, and now we got 2nd and goal from the 3. Yeah, I would have really liked to have seen that play call. Instead, we make 6 yards look like we have to get 6 yards every single play, and that just wasn't the case. We had our timeouts. And then speaking of our timeouts, I don't know why we didn't call timeout before the last play of the game.
Yeah, give us more time. That made no sense at all.
I mean, we can at least maybe try to draw up a play because we didn't try to draw up a play. And you have them, so I don't know why you didn't call them, why you didn't call one. Instead, we just run just a really stupid play and lose the game on that. That's got to be your best play, and that's what we ran.
The thing is, like you said, they should have that, pregame scripted. If we get in this situation, this is our go-to play, or these are our 2 go-to plays. They should have
game on the line. What's your best play?
Evidently,
that's what we ran.
A fade, a line drive fade, a ball that was probably thrown at 10 degrees. Shout out Mr. Kiff to our smallest receiver who really didn't give a shit about what happened in that game. That's all you got? Come on, man. We don't deserve to win.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah.
I don't know if my dad is joking with me or not, but he texted me that Anthony Davis stubbed his toe during warm-ups and he's day-to-day. I feel like he might be joking, but it's also, that doesn't sound completely absurd.
It doesn't. Okay, Brock.
Does anyone... Okay, everyone, you have a minute. Give your final Saints closing takes. Brock, go.
Well, since we were just talking about Olave, I'm sure it's incredible how much Pete Carmichael is doing so bad that we didn't even mention Olave getting arrested.
Hey, he's got some speed that I didn't know he had.
As if our team isn't in enough shambles right now, our number 1 receiver is probably going to get suspended for maybe 3 games. I mean, it doesn't matter because he was pouting anyway, but that's one guy that the defense doesn't have to worry about.
Yeah.
And now I know most people are going to say, oh, this week we have the Colts. Should be easy. They're terrible. Did you see Gardner Minshew this past week?
He looked great.
He put up 40 on the best defense in the league.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to kill us.
They're going to kill us.
It's going to be bad.
I agree with that. Brock, you have 10 seconds remaining.
That's all I got.
You yield your time. Connor?
Nothing. I don't want to talk. I want to talk about basketball.
Oh, okay. Before we start, I'd like to give my time to a favorite segment of mine. It's time for Sam's soccer segment, y'all. Time to
Jesus,
break this one
hurry
up.
up. Come on.
All right, I give myself 30 seconds anyway. Tottenham is still top of the league, maybe 23 points in 9 matches. You love to see it. Ange Ball cooking. We're top of the league. It's not going to last for more than 2 weeks, but I'm very excited. Other than that, yeah, that's all I really wanted to put out there. Go
Go
Spurs.
Hotspurs. All right. So the NBA kicks off tonight, actually.
Tips off, not kicks off.
What?
What sport do you think we're playing, Connor?
See, you know what, Sam? I'm not even gonna get into it with you.
You miss me, Connor. Admit it.
Yeah, I really do. Well, me and Ginger just wrapped up our fantasy basketball draft. Oh my
Oh.
God, it already started. LeBron has 15 points in the first quarter,
Wow.
and Aaron
Oh, I
Gordon
didn't
has
even.
22.
I did not set my lineup, but I have -1 points right now.
And
I
that's
don't know
okay.
what happened.
All right. So yeah, I guess let's just go over the Pels real quick. How are we feeling about the Pels? Sam, start us off.
It's kind of like the Saints.
I think I said Sam, start us off.
Yeah, Brock. Is your name
That's on me. That's on
Sam?
me. That's on me. I was not paying attention. My bad. Brock. My bad.
Yeah. Okay, got you. But anyways, the Pelicans. I wish I had more enthusiasm with this team this year. I was really excited to watch Trey Murphy. I said that was the only thing that I was really excited to see this year. And now he's hurt. So
How
I
long is
mean,
he out?
obviously, like 6 weeks or something like that. He'll be back in a month or two. But I'm just kind of discouraged. Obviously, I'm gonna watch, but and I think they're gonna be pretty good. To be fair, I think this could definitely be a top 6 team in the West. But until Zion playing basketball in April, then you can't tell me anything about how the Pelicans are contenders or if the Pelicans can do this, they're going to do that. Until I see Zion play playoff basketball, I can't speak to the success of the team.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say about the team going into this year.
All right, Brock.
Well, I feel like the Pelicans and the Saints are in kind of the same boat. I'd say top 10 roster in the league, just one through five, I guess, or 1 through 12 in
No, 1 through
NBA.
5 plus the bench. It's 1 through 12 on the Pels if we stay healthy.
It's unreal, but the injuries are killing us. Now we
Yeah.
actually have. I think we have a pretty good front office with David Griffin, but
Yeah.
In Griff, we
exactly what
trust.
Sam said. The season goes how Zion does.
Exactly.
If Zion plays a whole year, I think we're a top 4 seed and we're fighting for the chip. I don't think we win it, but we're fighting. If Zion's hurt 40, 50 games, we're right back where we were last year.
Yeah, and at that point, then we gotta really change some things up.
Can I give one last thing? I hope everyone on the team understands that this is their last shot.
Yeah.
If they perform this year, then
They got a few
we're
more
gonna move
years.
forward with this
Yes.
group. But if they don't, we gotta change stuff up because this is it. You can't run the same thing out and tell us, hey, if Zion stays healthy, 4 straight seasons because we're on number 3 this year, arguably 4. But you can't keep doing this to your fan base. So I just hope everyone knows that this is it. We're moving on. We have to move on completely if this season doesn't end up at least in the playoffs. But I'd like to say winning a playoff series.
Yeah, and I mean, Coach Green knows that, and I mean, I'm sure the players, got the hint. But for my outlook on the Pelicans, I've always been a very optimistic guy. Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm just thinking about my own pessimism. Continue.
Oh yes, yes, yes. But I, I like when the Pelicans were healthy last year,
Bro,
man. I know it
stammering.
speaks for himself, but what?
So you're stammering over there.
Yeah, I know, because we were the 1 seed, man. Everything was going great. We just beat the Sixers. It was going good, and then it wasn't, and then Zion got hurt. But me being an optimistic person, like I said, I like the Pelicans this year, even though Trey and Jose are out for the first few weeks. I mean, Bi's a killer. Zion, when healthy, is a killer. I mean, there's really like you said, this team has the depth. They have the superstar talent. So now we just gotta put it all together, play coherently, and we'll be fine. Stay healthy. So
Yeah. I mean, I would say this is really probably the most unpredictable team in the league. They
Grizzlies are
wouldn't
up there.
shock. Yeah, that's true, but I think the Grizzlies' floor is higher. I don't think the Pelicans would
100%.
shock. The Pelicans wouldn't shock me if they won 60 games this year, and they really wouldn't shock me if they won 35. So, we'll see.
Wow, that's you're going
I
from
mean,
a top five.
I just watched this team get bounced by the Thunder in the play-in game at home.
Yeah.
That's the last thing I've seen from them. I can't tell you that this team's going to go win the West, like I have no idea.
Yeah.
This team, like, I don't know how to put. I do think that
Ginger, we got less
losing.
than a minute, so make it quick.
Okay, my bad. Losing Trey and Jose is going to be way bigger than we all think in the
It's a lot of
first.
attitude. We got to get
Yeah.
off to a hot start, otherwise it could crumble.
And I would say, okay, we upgraded with Cody Zeller from Hernan Gomez, obviously. But did we lose anybody else? Or do we have pretty much
No, it's
everybody
the same
back?
group.
In the same group.
Same group. All
Like
right,
you
quick
said,
fire. You all have 5 seconds. NBA Finals prediction. Go, Brock.
Bucks over the Nuggets.
Celtics over the Suns.
I have the Bucks over the Lakers. And with that, thank you for listening. Thank you for Brock for joining us. We have 10 seconds left. Thank you if you made it all the way through, and cue the outro.
Sam
Sam and
CD.
CD and Sam.
CD and Sam.